In most real world cases, you will be saving list of objects instead of a single object. So in this quick video, I will show you how to serialize list of objects as XML. This is a continuation video of my last video on XML serialization. Please check that out first. Its link will be in the description below. The first thing we need is a new class which will act as a container for our list. In this demonstration, we are saving a list of our player data class. So let's create a new class and I will call it player data list. And inside this class, we just need to have a list of player data variable. So we can create that by using player list of player data. Let's call it player data list. And in order to be uh, able to serialize this as XML, we will need the system.serializable attribute before our player data list class. Now once we have this class, inside our serialization test function where we serialize or deserialize, we can create a new variable of the type player data list, and with a little bit of change we can serialize our player data list class. And the changes are simply that we need to convert our serializer to be of the type player data to player data list class, and instead of saving it as player data XML file, we can save it to a different location so that it doesn't overwrite our old player data XML file. And when we are serializing it, we would feed it our player data list object. Similarly, in the deserialization function, the only changes needed are converting our player data class to player data list class, and instead of feeding it to our the player data object, we would feed it to player data list object. And also change the file read location to the file where we are saving our serialized XML. So we would change this to be same as this file location. Now we are ready to serialize and deserialize our list of player data. First, let's add some values to our list so that we can see the different player data inside our XML file. So let's add 3 player data elements and let's give it some random values. Now when I go into the play mode and hit serialize, it would have stored a new file called player data list XML with these player data values. Here's my new list XML file, and when I open it inside Visual Studio, here is how it looks. So I have my variable player data list which holds a list of different player datas, and inside it you can see every individual player data object is inside its own element called player data, and inside the player data element it is divided into different elements corresponding to each variable inside the player data object. So the first player data object has its 3 variables with the corresponding values, and similarly we have our second player data object and the third player data object. So this is how you can save a list of objects inside an XML. To demonstrate the deserialization process, I have reset my player data list object to its initial state. Now when I hit deserialize, it should read the XML data stored in the file and then recreate my object at the same state at which I have done the serialization process. So my player data list should contain the elements and the values should be same as stored in my XML file. So let's go into the play mode, hit deserialize, and you can see that the player data object has been recreated with the values which are equal to what has been stored inside the XML file.